Okay, good morning. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. So this is the second of two live streams today right here. Once again, the previous live stream we covered right here on Facebook, wherever you're from, 4 different platforms right now we're streaming towards. We just finished inventory management in terms of, or the item catalog subseries. We finished some stuff regarding new foods that came in. And so now in this second live stream, we're moving towards that knapsack, that backpack that I said we would finish covering about by the end of this week, which is great because that's about on schedule, where it's a little bit later than I would have liked. If you've taken a title, what you see is what you get. It says day 10 of 7, 10 days have passed. My intention was to cover it in about 7 streams. It took a little more than that. That's all right. Not a big deal. Today, what we have left, and I would say, again, this is section about 50 to 55, something like that in my room. I'm just sort of hand-wavy guessing around. This section is just one knapsack I had from university days way back in about 2015, I think. 2013, 2015, between that sort of, those sort of 3-4 years. The knapsack actually goes back to high school, so that would have been before even 2010. But in terms of the materials are inside, that dates back to about 2013. That was when I was in university in my upper years. So I want to cover all the items that are inside here, and just vent all my thoughts and emotions before I throw them away and start using them. Now, we covered most of the sections in here. There are about 8 different pockets of items, from toiletries and kitchenware to books and supplies and some food packaging. It was just a whole variety of junk, including bath towels and stuff like that. That one was a stream that apparently garnered a lot of attention for the wrong reasons, but whatever. We're on to the last segment today, pretty much second or third last segment. We just have books to cover today, so I'm going to show you this here. So we have 2 books here. This is pretty much the only pocket that has anything left inside anymore. The rest of the pocket's pretty much empty. If they're not, it's mostly because there's one pocket that has stuff that's not book related, but that's just because that part is something that I might be giving. I plan on giving this knapsack to my brother. Long story short, I don't know if I will. It's still sort of in the air right now. I'm trying to debate to myself whether or not I want to keep this knapsack. I'm trying to get rid of all class 2 items, class 2 meaning the purchase from my caregivers, but this knapsack I really am quite fond of. I may or may not keep it depending on my reasoning after this. So what we have to cover today is just about the second last item here. We have some TDC, not TDC, we have some GRT transit items. We'll cover that tomorrow morning. We don't have enough time today. But today we do have enough time to cover these 2 books right here. So if you see in the top left-hand corner, I did take a photograph of these 2. So you can see it in case I put it down. But the first book here is from the University of Waterloo itself. Of course, that's my alma mater. And Real Life 101 is what it says. Tips for a successful start to student life. So this is something that I didn't actually have until the very second last year. They did a huge rebranding of the university halfway into my 5 years there. And before, their logo was filled with a variety of different colors, 6 colors for each representing a different faculties at the University of Waterloo. So one for pink for mathematics, green for environment, blue or light blue, like teal for AHS, so applied health sciences, and science was like a deeper blue, as well as I believe purple was for engineering. And so we had all those colors, and then about halfway through they decided to transition towards their sort of logo, which is black and gold, as they say. So that's what it is. This book here is just something I picked up because I thought it might be useful, but I never ended up actually using it. It has a lot of stuff about how to apply to graduate school. At that time I was a prospective for optometry, so I was thinking of becoming a doctor of optometry. So just, when you go to the eye clinic, that's basically what I was planning on entering. at the time, although I decided that that's not actually what I want to do. I guess it's it's appropriate that I'm wearing this. This is not intentional. I decided to talk about it, but I didn't mean to wear a lab coat today for that reason. It was just because this is something I was washing, and I have to switch out of my work clothes. So it's very iconic. This is actually this is a lab coat. This is a lab coat, in fact. It's something that is from the University of Waterloo even. And when I used to take my first year lab, as well as upper year labs for general physics, chemistry, and biology, eventually branching into more specialized versions of biomedical science such as molecular biology, organic chemistry, second, third, fourth term, as well as physiology labs and advanced metabolism. Yes, we would wear this. And I just decided to dig. I saw this. I washed it at the same time that I washed the blankets for the mattress. And so I happen to be wearing it right now. I had no idea that I would be wearing this at the same time that I was, covering all this stuff here. And I should be careful not to show too much of the book, obviously, for copyright reasons. But I just thought that was actually kind of funny. I just realized right now that I am, in fact, wearing the lab coat that came from the University of Waterloo. So it's a little bit of nostalgia right here, a little bit of reminiscence. I did enjoy my days on campus. I was still, I didn't realize at the time, but I was still very much of a kid. I believe that to this day now. I recognize that there were a lot of parts of me that were still sort of naive, I guess. That's just what I would say. I would say I was naive, a bit immature. And it's just a difference that, that you will find in someone who actually has been out in the workforce for an extended period of time. I don't just mean doing short-term work. I mean, you have to be out in the workforce for a company for at least a couple of years, and you start to realize the change in you as you become more practiced and hands-on, and you start to recognize the difference that experience makes as opposed to knowledge. But with that being said, that's this book right there, and it just incited a whole story out of me because I happen to be wearing this lab coat today. So that's the first book. I'm very thankful to the University of Waterloo for helping me find what I enjoy doing, and props to that. Put that down, but also to take responsibility for some of that. Take some credit myself for actually deciding to do what I decided to do, because for sure the university itself did not play as big as a role as I did on myself, and I hope that whatever decisions you make, you take responsibility for yourself as well, without, of course, discarding the credit where it's due. There are outside influences in your life, and you should be appreciative of them if they are positive. Okay. Now, the next thing, even negative things in your life, you should be appreciative for if you manage to take the responsibility to climb out of those challenges. You'll find that those extreme hardships actually contribute significantly to your growth and make you a much stronger individual. So even for negative things, you should be appreciative for. But you're probably not going to agree with me until you've lived longer into your life. So that being said, how dare I talk about this nonsense, right? Like, this guy's not even, look, I still have color in my hair. How can I say that kind of shit, right? It's not an old man yet. All right, the next thing here we have Making Sense. I'm just teasing. Next thing we have Oxford book brand. All right, Making Sense. A Student's Guide to Research and Writing. Now, I never read this book either, so it occurs to me that I have these two books here, and I thought they would be useful, but I never actually read them. So this one's for social sciences, 4th edition, not very applicable to me. I'm a natural sciences student. I'm more into STEM fields, so obviously when I say molecular biology and analytical chemistry, that's kind of my nature of stuff. I'm also a very math-oriented individual as well myself, as well as being a sort of analytical philosopher, so I'm very STEM related. But that doesn't mean that I don't have an appreciation for the arts. Take a look at this live stream. You'll notice immediately that all aspects of life are important, including the arts and sciences. Now, so I have this book here, The Social Sciences, and it was very relatable. I very much appreciate critical thinking, the ability to make logical deductions, as well as to understand the limitations of thought of how to, make well-reasoned arguments for multiple different um, perspectives and sides of argument. So this is something that's very critical in research, especially, but especially since oftentimes when you enter a body of research or a discipline, you'll find that there are always studies that point to many different directions, and that's why people have to conduct comprehensive reviews, because you'll often find that there's so much information out there that supports various different positions. It becomes very controversial, and no one should really be putting their foot down on the ground and saying this is where the evidence and the facts point, because that's not how science works. Every time you're in discovery and research and development, it's just really confusing. There's so much information pointing in different directions that you should not be placing so much emphasis towards one steadfast belief. It should be constantly changing and evolving as you learn more and more about the world. And so, I always appreciated reading certain segments of this book and how they emphasize that science is really a methodology. It's not a belief system. Don't become indoctrinated by any particular theory that comes out, please. Otherwise, you end up just being like religion, which is really, if science becomes like religion, then what's the whole point, right? That's just fuck. So with that being said, this is a book I really appreciated. I didn't read too much into it, but I knew that it would be useful if I ever decide to go further into grad studies, but I never did. So that being said, these are two books here that I really appreciate. I'll show the back here just for, some, what's it say? It says a student's guide to research and has all this kind of stuff here, the features, as well as I guess the editors and the authors. Oxford University Press. So University Press. So that being said, I can't open it. Like I said, these two books, I'm not going to show page for page what they say. Copyright issues with that. This is sort of like a book review, I guess, if you want to consider that at all. But if anything, it's more like just inventory. So we have two items here. I got them both for free. They are class 4 items as a result. Class 1, 2, 3, and 4. Class 1 I purchased myself. Class 2 for my caregivers. 3 is garbage and trash. 4 class 4 items are free items, whether they come from friends, relatives, colleagues, and in this case from my university. So with that being said, this is what we have to cover in today's second of 2 live streams, and I can call it a wrap for today and deliver the take-home message. So the rest of the knapsack, of course, we're going to cover tomorrow morning, but we're going to take a pause for now and just deliver the take-home message. What is the take-home message? What is it? No one's watching. I know Augie. By the way, Augie Hayes, I don't know why, but you always pop into my streams once in a while. I want to show some appreciation. Thank you. As well as Zeki once in a while. I don't know who these people are, but they just pop up in Periscope once in a while, and I appreciate it. There's always someone also in Twitch. I'm not sure if that's a bot. If it's a bot, well then fuck you. But if it's a real person, I really appreciate that. I never thought that someone would drop into my streams so consistently on Twitch, so I appreciate that. But here's the take-home message if you are actually a recurrent viewer, and I don't believe there's anyone who constantly watches my live streams. They're not the most entertaining right now because I'm doing some very tedious work, and that's what it is, okay, but it's necessary. So here's a take-home message if you're familiar with it. If not, take care of your health, take care of your finance and your family. Make sure that you are a strong, or become a strong, responsible, and disciplined individual. And I'm not trying to preach. This is something that I'm working on. The reason why I'm saying this is because I need to practice it. That's why I say it. I need to become a strong, responsible individual. I hope you share that understanding with me, that basically you are of no use or value to, you can't contribute anything to the people you care about unless you have something to offer. Oftentimes, you may have certain challenges or problems that are plaguing your life. I encourage you to solve to solve those problems, like what I'm doing here on stream. I don't compromise what I do here on stream for anybody else. I do it because it's good for me and I have to, or not, I don't have to. I make these decisions too. That's a really bad mindset. Don't say you have to do something, say you decide to do something. That's a positive sort of mindset that you should put yourself into and gives you control over your life. So I do these things because I want to do it. It's good for me. I will not stop even if it's no views. I don't give a shit. I do it's good for me. And I hope that you share that understanding. The point is that I hope that you will do what's best for yourself. I'm happy when you're happy. Please do what is best for you, whether that's, you have some special project for your significant other, for your spouse, your wife, your husband, for your kids, if you have kids or your grandkids. I don't know who's you're watching right now, right? Maybe you want to become, you're just, earlier in your life, you're trying to become the next civil engineer, the next pediatrician, whatever it is that you want to do for your career as well, get that sorted out. With that being said, I think I've covered pretty much everything. Like I said, I stream every single day, the Ahn Rho Project every single day. I'm sorry I missed yesterday's stream, but every single day from about 3 to 5:30 a.m. in the morning, sometimes a little bit later, but usually that's the time. And I would recommend that because I put so much emphasis on you trying to solve the issues in your life, as well as to reach the goals and ambitions you've set for yourself, to spend your time, attention, and resources where it really matters, I would say I only recommend you dropping to my streams if you want to, once or twice a week. That's it. And that's because even though I stream every single day, I believe there are much more important things you should be spending your time on. The only reason why you should come to my streams so often, and you're always welcome to, that's your decision to make, is if you actually find value in my content, if you find it useful to you, if you find it, maybe it helps you because you're in a very dark place right now. I know that for the past 5 years, my whole life has been just full of poverty and as a result, depression and a lot of, abuse between family members. And, long story short, it's not been nice at all, not at all. But, I appreciate, and take responsibility for that, okay? But long story short, you should focus your time where it really matters. And if you're still in a dark place and it helps you to watch someone solve their problems on camera, and this is maybe inspirational or relatable to you, not inspirational, I don't think my content's inspirational, but if it is relatable to you, and you get something out of this, you are always welcome here to, get your shit together. Maybe it just puts you in a better mood. Who knows? That being said, this is the Ahn Rho Project. Thank you for tuning in, my hypothetical, imaginary viewers. And I hope to see a better version and maybe the few real people out there. I really appreciate that. Again, Hoggy, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Ahn Rho Project. I hope to catch you all tomorrow morning when we cover the rest of this the rest of this knapsack here. There's only a few items left. Like I said, there's just transit stuff here from when I was living out of town. So we're gonna cover that tomorrow morning. We're probably gonna throw away this knapsack. By that I mean give it to my brother. I'm gonna give it to my brother maybe when he comes back in a week or two. But that's for tomorrow morning. So I hope to see a better version of all of you, as well as a better version of myself tomorrow's live stream right here on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and blah. Ahn Rho signing out. Ciao.